Are you playing dumb about gambling, or are you actually not? Have you never gambled?
I can't say I've never gambled. I played poker, but
yeah, but that at least involves some kind of skill.
Yeah, but I mean,
slot machines don't.
I even remember winning
you have
a
to
lot.
be barely conscious to work a slot machine.
I was at a casino for the first time in my life a few months ago. I went to the U.S.
Right.
We were in Tahoe.
So you went to an Indian casino?
I don't know. I don't know if it was Indian or not, but it was interesting to see what a casino is like.
What kind of degenerates are there? And you're like, oh, those are all me. Weird.
It just looked like a lot of just intoxicated people having fun.
Yeah, because you have that free alcohol. A lot of casinos do free alcohol.
This one didn't have free alcohol. Yeah, no. But yeah,
cheap prices at least.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I was there with my wife's family, so I was a good boy. So
smart idea. Wait, they took you to a casino? Yeah. That was like the idea of like, let's show the Iranian what he doesn't know.
No, the casino had like my wife's family are Afghan, so like, you know. It's not like they're American.
They normally gamble with their life.
But no, they've been living outside of Afghanistan for forever.
Okay.
But it's there was like a playground thingy, like a fun fair sort of area. That's why we went there.
That's how they get you. Like the McDonald's play area.
Yeah, I guess
that's how they get families.
I suppose so. And I think it's the cheap burgers, no?
Oh yeah, that helps too. Yeah. But for families, it's definitely the experience of not having to watch your kids.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose so. I never watch my kids, so I'm not familiar with that anyways.
I mean, that's less creepy than I'm watching my kids all the time.
Well, yeah. Especially if you're watching.
I love my kids so much. I can't take my eyes away from them.
Yeah, or other
They're
people's
so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Going real Phil Spitz. All right, let me intro this show. Welcome to Pauls Palaver Paradise, episode 7. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we have still lockdown light going on, so we keep a safe distance, and we only have one guest on because that's the maximum of people who can be from different households. Except, I guess, if I bang you, then... No, because that's now an exemption from the 2 household rules.
Thank God.
Is if you fuck somebody, then that's meeting an essential demand.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if we banged, we could have a third guest in here.
All right, man.
Yeah, so it's only you holding back now.
I wish you'd let me know and I would have...
You would have prepared?
Yeah, I would have prepared.
Lucky us, because actually, right before lockdown, I have a bit about that nowadays people have it too good with sex toys.
Yeah.
Because especially men, because now we have all those amazing artificial vagina flashlights that the silicone you can just unwrap and put in the dishwasher and stuff like that, you know? Okay. And back in my days, it was like that weird metal can that you got out of the slot machine thingy. Out of the coin machine it was called Travel Pussy in Austria.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm very unfamiliar with the...
it was horrendous. Right. Yeah, because it was like this weird latex foam that, you know, that cushions normally like a car seat.
Okay.
Like that spongy material.
All right.
And it was pink colored, so
there was no resistance, or what was the problem?
Yeah, first of all that, and then you fucked it once. You can only fuck it once.
Okay.
Except if you're like a really gross person.
Because
you can't wash it out, you can't do anything with it. I mean, if you do it like you fuck it and then you wait 2 minutes and then you fuck it again, I guess that would be okay.
Okay.
If you don't mind fucking your own sperm.
Your sperm's still fresh.
Yeah, I mean that extra lube does help.
Come on, man. You're a man, I'm a man. That's the least disgusting thing one could do.
Yeah, but the can itself, if you leave that out for like a day or two.
Yeah.
Gross.
I've never used that kind of a sex toy before, but I bet the new fleshlights would be fun if I were to.
I think that too. Like I don't own one. I that's also the punchline of my joke is I don't want to make my wife jealous because that thing vibrates and my wife doesn't.
Oh, well. you're not pulling the right moves if you're not.
She doesn't vibrate. There's a button, you know? I think it's G stands for vibrate.
Yeah. So I remember there was... oh,
yeah, by the way, cheers.
Oh, cheers to you, my friend. Thank you for having me over.
Thank you. You can, by the way, intro yourself.
I'm Sia. So as I was saying,
smooth.
Yeah, what do you want me to tell? My name is Sia. I'm Iranian, and
you're a comedian.
I'm a comedian.
Very important. Why is this asshole just making one Holocaust joke after another?
Wait, they have yet to come. But yeah, I'm a comedian. I've been living in Europe for the past 11 years, and that's it.
Awesome.
That's basically my story.
Yeah, you married.
I am married.
How long now?
You're putting me on the spot here. I honestly...
See, that's why I put my... That's one of the reasons why I said okay to marrying it in October. Because it was super close to my birthday. So I can remember it always that way.
So I have to tell you this much. I'm just terribly bad with dates in general. Like, I don't know anybody's birthday. I know my wife's birthday.
Right.
Because
when is Christmas?
No.
22nd of October?
No, her birthday is 4 days after mine.
Oh, shit.
So that's how I know her birthday. My daughter's birthday, I know.
So you're 69 on both of them, so you have like equally given each other presents?
Exactly. I mean, that's a very creepy thing to say about my daughter, but sure.
Oh, shit. I heard your wife. I'm an idiot. Oh, that makes it so much worse. Oh, but Paul, why did you do that?
No, it's okay, Paul.
No, it's not okay. I know we're in Austria and you've been here long enough, but that's still not okay.
I'm used to it. It's all right. You get a pass. But yeah, no, I don't exactly know when we got married. I've been with her for nearly 6 years.
Right.
And somewhere along the way we got married. I think
it's all a blur.
I think we've been married for like 3 years, if I'm not mistaken.
So she basically Bill Cosby'd you into a marriage.
Oh, poor
like
girl.
You don't remember? Like she gave me some pills and then I woke up and I was married. Like she doesn't rape you, she just marries you.
Yeah, I was passed out and I woke up and I had a European visa.
Like everything, like it's a good Cosby story.
Like positive Cosby story. Yeah.
Positive Cosby.
I was positively raped. No, poor lady.
Taken advantage of.
No, everybody knows my wife is beautiful. I don't know how I got her. Yeah, she's a genuinely good person, and she has nothing to do with me. But
I think that's one of the for us comedians. That's like one of the most important things that
we're always punching up.
I don't know if that's a domestic violence joke or I really don't know, or it's just a fisting joke.
No,
always punch. But. No, I feel like, especially for comedians, it's because we're already so insane in the brain.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we
need an anchor.
Like nearly all of us have some form of issues.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't exempt myself from that.
It's not a general rule. I know some people who are comedians and they have their shit together, like Roland.
I know. But it's rarer.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah,
and for those of us who do have that mental imbalance, it's very important to have an anchor.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be your wife, can be family, friends, whatever. Yeah. But we need that.
I agree.
Because if we get somebody, that's also I think why a lot of like comedians on comedians relationships don't work out. Mm-hmm. There are some examples where they're happily ever after, but most of them fall apart. And I feel it's that. Like they just. There's some attraction, obviously. I get it, and if you're both witty, I mean that's just a fun relationship to be in. But there's no anchor.
Yeah.
And the moment you start to drift, you both drift.
I mean, me and my wife, when we met, I wasn't a comedian yet. So I hadn't started yet. I started after I'd met her, and I started with Slovak comedy.
Right.
And she was super supportive. She came to all my shows, although she didn't understand a single word of what was going on the entire time. She
That's
would sit,
fantastic.
Yeah. She's been always very supportive. But
does she tell you when a joke is shitty?
Yeah, absolutely. But then again,
I think that's one of the most important things.
Yeah, and
honesty.
It's kind of really hard to make my wife laugh with my jokes that are written down. I make her laugh all the time. But if I'm telling her jokes that I've written down, she's always very critical.
She's like, "Are you trying bits on me?"
No, I do it all the time. Like,
no, but she's like angry about that. She's like, "Really? I'm your test audience?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. Her
Come back with the trained good jokes. I'm your wife.
Yeah.
I demand the highest quality jokes.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I make her laugh all the time, but like if it's a bit that I'm doing for her, I usually get it's good or it's not.
Right.
I don't get cackling. Like it's like
it's very similar with Josephine and me. The only difference is she secretly sometimes does love my puns.
Yeah.
I mean,
who doesn't? Who doesn't, Paul?
I can give you a list. I can give you a list of people who told me to my face that they hate me because of that pun. Like, there's
today.
The postman, the UPS driver is like, "Oh, I hated that man." Like,
Turkish lady at the supermarket doesn't even understand.
To fuck off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a burden and a curse.
Yeah.
It's both.
For sure. For a burden and a curse.
Yeah.
It is a burden and bad luck.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
I'm double fucked.
Yeah. But you know, my wife, as I said, has always been very supportive, but it's good to have someone like her, because I was leading a life of self-destruction, and it's called rivalry, you know,
the worst computer game. Self-destruction derby.
Yeah, exactly. And she was the type of person that like enjoyed being home and like didn't need to go out as much as I did, and that always balanced things out, because I feel like if I were to lead that life, I didn't have like a break pedal, you know. And
because also comedy is, for all intents and purposes, a very demanding job mentally. Yeah. By you know, even if you're a seasoned veteran, if you're performing in front of 300 people for an hour and a half, you can't tell me that at least not the first 10 minutes, but the 10 minutes leading up to going on stage, you are like in a mental like spiral. Yeah. For a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that goes hand in hand with substance abuse, you know.
Right. Like substance use.
Yeah, sure. Like I'm lucky that I've only been doing comedy for about 5 years or so. And when I started, of course, you know, comedians, everybody drinks, everybody smokes, people are doing coke in the back room. Like it's kind of gets crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm lucky enough that at the time that I entered the scene in Slovakia, the guy who I basically owe most of my career to, this guy called Jano Gordulic, who was a successful Slovak stand-up comedian. When I started, he was the only person who didn't drink at all during the shows. He would sit through everybody's set and he would take notes. And he would like tell them after the show, like, "Oh, I think you need improvement here, there," and like.
And he was right.
He was right for sure. I mean, he was he was a veteran of the scene. But by the time I got there, he was already doing it for a very long time. He was like translating jokes for like sitcoms and so on.
Whoa,
and he was very familiar with.
That's a sweet gig.
Yeah.
That's a sweet gig.
Because you familiarize yourself.
No, but he's stuck with like Big Bang Theory. He's like, no.
I think he did like Seinfeld.
Perfect.
And like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So he was very familiar, and he already was working with TV himself, and he was familiar with like comedy and jokes, and he even went to the US, I feel like, a few times to sort of study the art. And I saw him as a person who's not drinking at all amongst all these people who are just completely indulging and like getting fucked every night. And I mean, I feel like some people need that sort of like liquid courage to get on stage, and some people don't do well and they just
fall apart. I mean, I had that, especially at the beginning, where I kind of leaned onto alcohol to get me over that first hump, but it also then sabotaged me during it. That's why I stopped drinking before, and now I drink water before. And then I bring a beer on stage. First of all, because it fits with my persona. An Austrian always drinking makes sense. In like the persona that I built now around me. And I don't know if you've still, because we've been now friends for nearly 4 years.
Yeah, we have.
And you've seen my
rise.
Definitely. I mean, when you start at minus 100, you can only go up. You know, like if I started at the bottom, now I'm mid-range.
Started at the bottom, now I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. Here-ish.
Here. But yeah,
the cliff is up here. I have my hands on it, and I can like pull up, but I can't pull myself over it yet. No, but I don't know, because did you see me after lockdown?
Yes.
Perform?
Yes.
So you saw my change from that stoic character that I played before, where it's all like offbeat, super stoic, no emotional
I remember
thing. And that thing again worked more internationally than it worked in Vienna, but it still had like a 30% failure rate basically. And that changed.
I mean, what doesn't though?
So my new persona, like I'm just talking. I'm not talking about the jokes. I'm just talking about the persona itself.
Personas,
People are way more agreeable with me now, being just like a more truer self to
what I like about you though is that you're a person who's trying out characters.
Right.
Nobody else does that in Austria or in our group of people. I don't see a lot of people, and I like that. I feel like that's an interesting format to do comedy in, like to try out different characters and whatever. And kudos to you for having the courage to do that. And listen, man, I feel like it's kind of silly to try to compare your progress with other people, because I mean we're all so unique in our experiences and in our just creative abilities, you know. So, and the thing is with comedy, I feel like there's really no straight manuals for anybody.
Yeah, they're like all queer manuals, I know.
No, but there's no clear path, right? So you can't say, because I looked for it when I started. I was looking for like, and there were a lot of people who were like, oh, I do like stand-up comedy workshops, and there's this, oh, here's a book and read this and do that. And
those things can help.
They can help, but they don't help you find out who you are and what your frequency of comedy is, you know. And I feel like that's something that everybody that's something everybody has to find out for themselves. And for some people it takes longer. For some people it's generally, I don't know anybody who's like super successful after just a couple of years. And those couple of years happens rarely. There are people who are just so talented and so charismatic. But I feel like for most people, it just takes a while for you to figure out why you're funny. As I was telling you earlier, my wife, I make her laugh all the time, but I still can't transfer that energy to the stage after 5 years, right?
That's true.
So that means that you're funny, but you don't know why you're funny. You know, so to figure it out. And
I mean, some of that funniness is definitely untransferable.
And by you, I don't mean you.
No. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's just a general statement. Yeah. I know. But I totally see that, because again, certain jokes that I do with Josephine, I could never ever do on stage, because either it's an inside joke or it's something so obscure and weird. Because now her German is now so good that she has the, like, I think B2 already.
B2, wow, that's great.
I think so.
So intermediate.
Or she's doing that now. I'm not sure anymore.
Okay, cool.
But she's fluent now.
Yeah, she's fluent. Okay.
For everyday conversations, she can carry a conversation with my mom.
Yeah, that's
and
university
like that.
level. B2, yeah. B2 is university requirement, so that means that she can study in higher education. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, even though she's going to that's the funniest thing in Austria. You know, you still need the B2 if you go to an English speaking master's degree.
Yeah.
Like they're still like, no, you need that B2. We don't give a fuck if it's English or not.
Yeah.
You study that German. If you like it or not, you know.
You study it, I don't mind.
I mean, it's a good language to have.
So anyways, back to jokes.
So now I make puns that are based on the Spanish and German language.
Uh-huh.
You know, like I mashed them up. That's only funny to her and me.
Yeah.
I couldn't, like, I would have to, like, find a Nazi colony in Mexico.
Yeah.
Go there.
Yeah.
Or, like, Ibiza. I can make jokes in Ibiza with like, old farts that know Spanish and German. Like, that's my audience with those jokes. And Josephine. That's it. And I could never transfer that kind of humor properly on stage where it would kill with the audience.
Yeah.
Like, there is a and it's a trend I've noticed more and more where popular culture references diminish now in return. Like in the 90s, if you made a Seinfeld reference, everybody fucking knew what you were talking about. Or even better, Friends.
Yeah.
You make a Joey reference,
Yeah.
people fucking get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's so splintered, like with having streaming services, popular TV shows that only air on one channel for some reason.
Yeah.
Then you have the BBC making stuff, but then they lock it out of other countries, so you're never, ever able to see it, even though it's one of the best things since sliced bread. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So popular culture, like, splintered. Like, the last thing that, like, tried to hold it together are Marvel and Disney with the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, that's both Disney. But you know what I'm saying. You know, Marvel is still, I feel, like a separate entity to Disney in certain aspects.
But don't you think...
And those are not... even those are not enough sometimes. Like Reggie tried to make a Black Panther joke work for months.
Yeah.
It was one of the most seen movies ever.
Yeah.
But still... a third to a half of the audience didn't know what it was about.
That's the question. So I also have reached that dead end a lot of times with the cultural references that I'm trying to make, and not even just cultural references, but like, I don't know. I feel like some people should know some history of politics in the Middle East and like, you know, but they don't. And you can't just be an educator, because people not only do they not like that, they kind of hate it.
Yeah, they feel being talked down to.
Yeah. They're like, I don't need you to preach politics to me right now.
We are in a world where there's just literally too much information for any person to ingest.
Yeah, and particularly in our environment where we're trying to be we're trying to do comedy, we are people that, because Europe is so multicultural and we don't have enough audience for English comedy in one city, we always have to tour. We have to do Slovakia, Austria, Czech Republic, Budapest.
Right.
And all of these areas have like people from different countries, and there's such a huge melting pot of different cultures and people that you have to perform for. I feel like references don't play as huge of a part in our routines as they would like for an American comedian. Yeah. And that is so and obvious.
Taboos
and
as well.
Taboos, yeah. And that's
like
so obvious when an American comedian comes to do shows in our environment, and they're full of references, and people are like, they don't know what's an RV.
Yes.
You know, what do you,
like, what is Scotch tape?
Yeah. What are you talking like? Yeah.
What Tixo here?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, so they don't get
Band-Aid.
Exactly. They don't get
That's
the
also
references.
A brand name, you know, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Totally
or
agree.
like, O.J. Simpson. Yeah, I know what happened with O.J. Simpson, but it's not so engraved in my psyche.
And it's also because of the Netflix show.
Yeah.
Oh, it was on Netflix here. I think it was Showtime in the US or something like that.
Yeah.
But the trial of O.J. Simpson, which fantastic TV.
Sure. But I didn't hear it about it in the 70s as much as you did. Or when did it happen? I don't know. You see, I don't even know.
90s.
In the 90s. Okay,
it was in the 90s.
So I didn't hear about it as much as you did for it to have the same effect on me as it does on an American.
The thing is, I got to know O.J. Simpson through the Naked Gun movies.
Yeah.
And then I like...
he was a cop in those, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is just the best, you know? Like, he's the clumsy cop who gets injured all the time. Which is just hilarious. Like, that O.J. Simpson like was a pretty decent actor in that one.
Yeah.
And then he murdered his wife and the boyfriend, you know that he killed 2 people.
I thought in the film too.
Oh, that would be so
that would have
funny.
been hilarious.
Like,
no.
10 years earlier, he stabs his wife in the movie.
That would have been.
That's in the extended cut.
Yeah.
They had to cut that one out.
Yeah, but the point being that
this is too edgy.
The point being that in Austria people wouldn't appreciate it as much.
Yes,
these cultural references. But at the same time, I feel like what to get back to what I was talking about earlier is that when my wife laughs at something I say, it's not like I say, "Oh, let me write that joke down and say it on stage," because it's missing is the context that I give it as a person. Right. My wife already knows that what I make fun of, what I find funny, what's like this.
The shows that you watch together.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff,
she
right?
knows my funny side. So when I say something, there's a bit of a context to it. You know, she understands where I'm coming from. And I think the art of stand-up comedy is creating that connection with the crowd as soon as possible so that they're not only laughing at how smart the joke is, but
you as a funny person.
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Actually, what just came to mind with pop culture references, one thing, and I never really thought about that, but it's true, is a meta pop culture reference. Because I, like, if I'm on tour, especially, like, again, Czech Republic and all that, one of my normal openers is, it's good to be back in the lands that we used to own. Because that works with the Nazis, that works with the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, and that works with the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire of German Nation. You know, it works in 3 levels, and then nearly everybody gets one of those references. Yeah. You just keep it ambiguous, that part, so you can just split it up in those things. Yeah. I think that will be the last bastion of, like, the pop culture reference. Yeah. Because even, like, on YouTube, for example, like, memes, like, reviewers or whatever who use memes, I get maybe nowadays, like, the direct context, maybe 80% of the time. Right. And I used to get, like, nearly all of it. But I'm, air quotes here, old now. Yeah. So I'm being dialed in on stuff way later now. The funny thing is...
Take those air quotes off. You are old.
You don't deserve those air quotes. You strip me of my rank. Like in a movie. Like, you're demoted, Colonel. No, but the time that, like, really hit me hard is we have now... a few newcomers to the scene. Yeah. And one of them is Aisling Kane. She's fantastic. She was on Pauls Palaver Paradise too. Check that episode out. And she, first of all, very, very funny lady, very promising. Yeah. But she's 20. So great. She has references for me. Now, I have no fucking clue anymore. But the thing is, the only thing keeping us from, like, being back in there is a few hours spending with a younger person. Yeah. Because that's what we did. We just hung out, we talked, and then I was like, a whole section of the internet and
caught up
and
with
culture
with the trends.
Yes, exactly, and was like, felt like I don't want to say hip. Yeah, I'm pretty hip to be square, but
there's something super cringy about older people trying to act like.
Yes, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeet, I'm okay with yeet because I still game.
Yeah, I don't. My brother is this, like, 17-year-old gamer, and he posts all these memes on Instagram, and I don't fucking understand what it's about anymore. I don't, like, you know, there's like an old lady just, like, shaking and, like, colors changing, and there's like a meme and it says dead with DED, and everybody loves that. And
I mean,
like,
dead is like first generation internet lingo.
I don't know. This is the thing.
It's just the short form for dead.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome, bro.
No, but the thing is, I'm also
the worst translation program ever. Just translate the obvious stuff.
Yeah. Dead means that. Yeah, but see,
fire means fire.
That's the thing. You know, I'm at peace with the fact that there's a generation there's a new generation of comedy coming,
Right.
and I have no part of it. I don't understand it, and I'm at peace with it. I'm cool. I feel like just my job is to just write and perform as much as I can.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, we are definitely products of our time. We're definitely products of the 90s.
Yeah,
I mean, you're more of the Iranian 90s,
which was the
the
European 70s.
1870s. Yeah, sure.
No, we catch up. But seriously, we catch up later. Like everything that was here would come to Iran a decade later.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Music, film, games.
How's wine doing?
Wine? We made wine before
in Iran.
Oh, y'all
wine,
white
the
people.
App.
Oh, Vine.
Yeah.
You're talking about Vine. It's
just a new hot shit.
Exploding. No, but the thing is that now it's different.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, when I was in Iran, I was because recently I got deported. I think everybody knows about that. Not even. I mean,
that's
anymore.
that's yeah.
Not even recently anymore. It was 3 years ago. But when I got deported,
you got deported for your own faults.
Yeah, I was here on a student visa and I never went to school for 7 years.
I mean, how lenient are we that we're like, come on, 7 years?
Yeah,
really, dog?
No, I was like, when they called me in, I was like, it took you guys long enough.
Like, chickadee check yourself.
Yeah, fuck. Like, you know, what are you doing?
Again, makes the terrorist thing so much more clear now that they like passed on like checking on you for 7 years.
Yeah, I know.
And the terrorist is like trying to buy ammunition. They're like,
they're like, they don't give a fuck here. You know, the anti-terror tactics, the strategies here are very weak. But yeah, so
no, do you think that you were under surveillance at some point in Austria?
I'm sure I have been more. I would say more in Slovakia, because to be a Muslim in Austria is pretty outdated. You know, whatever.
And the Iranians have a special history with Austria.
Yeah, but as a Muslim in Slovakia, there aren't many of us.
Right.
So it's not. It's very.
There's more Vietnamese than
Vietnamese. There's a huge
exactly.
minority.
There's
Vietnamese.
way more Vietnamese than Muslims. Are there Vietnamese Muslims?
I wouldn't know. I'm sure there.
I wouldn't know.
I'm sure there are Muslims from every country nowadays.
But in the Czech Republic, that would be funny.
I still not from the Czech Republic.
Sorry, it's all the same to me, you know. Czech, Slovak,
German,
it's
Austrian.
It's all Austria. Yeah. You know that again? That meme with like the two astronauts. And wait, it has been Austria all along. Always has been. Like that's one of the most popular memes on Austria. Our Austria in Reddit.
Right.
That's also a thing that I had to do now. Be on Reddit.
Yeah.
I mean, I started photography.
Yeah, me too. I find if I want to find legitimate information, I always Google the question with Reddit in the end.
Smart.
Yeah, because I just trust Reddit for whatever reason.
Oh, it's so much better than most of the platforms that are dedicated to solve your problem.
Quora is also not bad sometimes. They have
Yes. No, because I'm from the IT background that I'm from. Quora has some dog shit advice sometimes when it comes to that. You know, oh, clear your RAM or something like that.
Right.
That's not how a PC works, motherfucker.
Right.
RAM is non-volatile. I just turn the machine off. It's gone. Yeah, like stuff like that. Like, just
no, but I know the thing is, it's kind of hard to find information nowadays online. You know. Because you're like, dude, I wanted to download a pedometer, which, by the way, my wife thought it's like an application for finding pedophile. No,
that gauges how much of a pedo you are. The pedometer. You know, you're 6.5 Epsteins. That's the unit. The Richter scale for earthquakes, but it's for pedophiles. It's open. It's open to the top. So
25 fritzels.
Micro fritzels. It's only when you molested a kid once. That's a micro fritzel.
Yeah. No, it's so it's a thing that calculates how many steps you take a day, right? Like pedestrian pedal.
Yeah. I know. I mean, they had them in the Tamagotchis, in the more advanced Tamagotchis, like the Pikachu Tamagotchi.
It would count.
That had a pedometer that you had to do like 2,000-3,000 steps at least.
Right.
Otherwise, your Pikachu would die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, it was
Hardcore.
Yeah. So in class, everybody was just like
jerking
during
off.
the break.
Oh, okay.
Like everybody's like, "Don't die, fucker! Don't die!"
I see. Yeah, but I was trying to download one and I didn't know which app is superior because everything I found like 10 apps
And
with
they're
like
all like 4.9 ratings. Or
yeah, and
4.8.
they all have 10 million downloads and they
Right.
all have terrible reviews. So
Oh shit! Oh, okay, yeah. No,
like-
the Google Play Store has become a cesspool. A cesspool of shitty copy paste apps.
Yeah.
That then just sideload commercials.
What do we
Like
do?
I have my dedicated music application on my phone has pop-up ads.
Uh-huh.
Why? You are a music player. This is like one of the easiest things nowadays to program.
Right.
Like it took you probably one guy for a month, maybe. It's a essential tool. So obviously I just installed VLC because fuck those guys.
Right.
Even though VLC looks like puke on Android, but at least it works and it doesn't have pop-up ads.
I want to ask you something that's not so boring.
Sure. I mean, I can talk about.
I know.
I can talk about UI changes and stuff like that
Take it upon myself to stop you right there.
forever.
Yeah. So, what do you feel like living in this neighborhood? Because I know Taliastrasse is like super multicultural, especially a lot of Middle Eastern people living
Yeah.
here.
And some Serbs and Croats.
Yeah.
And then
What
we have
has your experience been
Albanians.
living in like a multicultural neighborhood like this,
I mean,
as
it made me a
opposed
better
to
man.
Yeah. How?
I mean, first of all, because especially when I went to middle school here,
yeah.
I went to an experimental EU project that like we case tested basically the new concept of a middle school at that point. So it got EU funding because it's like a prestige project.
Yeah.
So we were one of the first schools to get internet,
Oh wow.
like broadband, big ass internet.
Okay.
With like Windows 95, Windows 98.
Okay.
98 machines, which
Alright.
was mind blowing to me to have like click on an image and it loads immediately.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what
Yeah,
the fuck?
you
This
didn't
is
get
what
that
yeah, because I had internet since I was 7,
Right.
but that change from like 56k modem to actual broadband
Damn.
blew my mind.
Yeah.
Blew my mind. And we learned how to build websites and stuff like that. But also, the class was very much a representation of who lived in Otterkring.
Uh-huh.
So we had some like entitled white guy assholes. We had like 2 or 3 of those
Yeah.
whose dads like work for the party, for the Socialist Party, or they are like have a construction company or stuff like that, you know, or they have like a high-ranking government job, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they were the entitled assholes. They still lived in Otterkring, so they went to that school because it was one of the best middle schools in Otterkring.
And that was a government school, right?
Oh yeah.
Not a private
EU
one.
money and City of Vienna money
Amazing,
went
yeah.
into that one.
Yeah.
Actually, super creepy building because the Nazis did experiments on kids there.
Oh well.
And it made it a school afterwards.
You
They're
guys just picked it up.
keep
You're
experimenting.
like, put a positive spin on this.
Yeah, exactly. There's like a spin doctor. Like, we can turn this. We can make this like a good thing.
Yeah, we don't have to shut it down. Everything is there.
Just rebrand it.
Exactly.
It's like the Coca-Cola company with Fanta. Like it's war, but gotta make money. Yeah. So it was a really good school. We had amazing teachers, and because of that funding, that school could afford 2 teachers per class. So we always had 2 teachers for each subject teaching at the same time in the room.
Okay.
So with 30 people, that's 15 per teacher. That's way more attention you get as a student.
Perfect.
And we had like 5-6 descendants of Turkish people. Then we had some Serb, Croats, you know, really a representation of Otterkring in that classroom. And it was just so empowering to see what good education can do with people who are from less meaningful backgrounds, because all those 3 shitheads, like one died of an overdose. That's tragic. And the other 2 are like stuck in like, as the last time I heard from them, like a few years back, they were like stuck in like middle management positions forever, basically. You know, like making good money but not amazing money.
These were the
Austrian shitheads.
The Austrian shitheads.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of the people, a good chunk of the people that, like 80% of like the people that had like a migration background went on to go study at university and like get a degree.
Right.
So like that was the first time where I saw like education can really help somebody ascend in the social stratosphere.
Also, as you said, like to be like lucky and privileged sometimes can work not so much in your favor.
Yeah, because you become an entitled asshole.
Yeah, and that entitlement.
I see it with my relatives.
Yeah.
Like again, I'm the poorest person in my family.
Yeah.
And that's saying something because I'm still doing okay. By the way, I am a starving artist. Please give me money on Patreon. Patreon.com/something. The link is down in the description below. Please give money to my Patreon. With that money, you're also supporting Melinda Pereira and Tamas Vamos with their shows because I'm producing both of those. So
and maybe really, in the future, my show.
Yeah, you're paying at least for 3 shows with potential more shows. So really, every euro is like 3 euros.
Exactly.
If you think about it.
Sure.
No, but also, I will be able to pay my guests in the future. That would be also a nice thing.
That's kind of weird. Why would you want to pay your guests?
I see it as a especially if it's a comedian that's here and is being funny. That's your work, man.
We'll talk about this, Paul.
If you have a different opinion, I would like to hear it.
No, I mean, I feel like it's a little weird to pay people to do your podcast.
Again, I'm talking about like not Rogan money, but like if I get on Patreon $1,000 per episode.
I know you're not talking Rogan money. First of all,
I know.
Second of all,
even though I'm an Italian immigrant like he is, like I should be making Rogan money.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm thinking like, why not like give them sort of like opportunities and maybe like somehow provide them with like, I don't know, equipment and this and that instead of giving them
talking
monetary money.
Future.
Yeah, way in the future. Like way in the future.
Again, I'm saying when my operational costs are met, then I can think about paying other people. And again, that's maybe my socialist upbringing.
Yeah.
That I hate the thought of being rich.
Right.
I like the thought of being well off.
Okay.
Where I don't have to worry about money. But I hate the thought of being rich. Because it just takes away everything, like so many incentives for me to succeed and be a better person.
Right.
Because that's just an excuse for getting a yacht.
Okay.
And then
that's an interesting
getting rid of my wife that way.
The Austrian in you is popping out.
Yeah,
but you know what? Actually, what do I know? You know, maybe that's a good idea. Who knows?
Exactly. I mean, that's all future talk.
Sets a new precedent for a new form of podcasting. Who knows?
Yeah, and again, I feel like that if you like, for example, Joe Rogan should just pay his guests 60% of what each episodes make that they're on. No, because it's not Joe Rogan making the entertainment. He's just inviting people to be the entertainment. We talked about this off screen.
Yeah.
Like, I love Joe Rogan. I love a lot of his stuff that he does.
Me too.
But especially in the last 300-400 episodes, it's been the guests who've been outstanding for an episode.
But listen, I don't think any of those guests on their own make nearly as much.
Yes. But Joe Rogan is a wall. You bounce the ball off. It's not.
At the same time, you have to realize that a lot of people who do the Joe Rogan podcast, they are catapulted into a whole new sphere of success.
I absolutely agree.
And listen, I'm not one of these guys who like pays artists by exposure. It's like, you know, but I feel like a lot of times
it's the worst thing, except if you're like Joe Rogan and it gets guaranteed 2 million clicks.
That actually does put you on the radar.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Joe Rogan, a lot of times it's not as much. I mean, I don't know. I feel like his approach is like, this is not a job thing. You're just coming here as my friend and we're having a chat, you know.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
A good percentage now is not his friends anymore.
Yeah.
Like, with Bernd Chrysler. With Bernd Chrysler and those guys, you know.
Or Dob Shmegura.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Those are just really good friends, and that you can feel and see that. But with like, I don't know, a scientist, for example, that he never met before, and then he talks about astrophysics or whatever. You know, there's a clear. Again, Joe Rogan wants to have a platform for other people. I get that, but there should also be like a monetary
incentive for the guests.
Yes, exactly. Or just
I don't know about
like
that.
because again, and that's just the unfair world where we live in, where a guy like Joe Rogan can get $200 million or something like that from Spotify to transfer his show. Not even like do something different with it or make a
How's
crazy
that unfair?
production. It's unfair in the sense of we are overvaluing a certain amount of stardom. Like, I feel like, for example, a podcast like The Dollop, for example, where it's all about history and learning something.
Yeah.
But also it's comedy, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's very well written.
Okay.
There's people who, like scientists who work on those projects sometimes to make it like as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And that is nowhere near. Like, quality, I feel like, should be monetarily incentivized, not fame.
But if that's what people want, how is it unfair?
That's the problem. People don't want that. I know. That's the... Really, I just hate people.
That's what you're trying to say.
My message here. My message here is that people suck and they should watch better stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
Stop.
That's... Yeah.
Pick up your remote and switch to a better channel. And with a better channel, I mean switch off the TV.
Yeah.
Go onto the internet and find some resources that actually further you as a human being. And that can be entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not like there's so much good shit that's entertaining. There's this podcast called, well, There's Your Problem.
Okay.
It's a civil engineer and two other people who are also into engineering.
Right.
They're not like professional trained, but they know a lot of shit.
Sure.
And they're all comedians, and they make fun of like disastrous engineering things. Like they had a 3.5 hour podcast about 9/11.
I see.
And not the planes going into the building, but what the planning before that and the engineering into the towers, like what it made all of this possible in the first place. Because the mafia was really involved, the mob was really involved in building the towers, and they skimped on materials. Like they didn't put, like, for example, the asbestos for the fire protection. They didn't put it on properly, or not at all sometimes.
So that contributed
to the melting steel beams.
Size of the catastrophe.
And it's not melting; it's just making them soft, which makes it fall, which makes it fall, which makes it fall.
I will also tell you this, that I feel like Joe Rogan is also a really, really underrated interviewer. Like, people don't understand. Hands off. Yeah, but he's very good at asking questions. I think he's a master at knowing what to ask so that it doesn't feel like someone's preaching or whatever.
Or attacking you. Yeah. I see what you mean.
He maintains that just the conversation sort of atmosphere, as well as informing you about things that you would have probably never listened to this scientist talk about astrophysics if it was him just rambling about it. But if he asks it and breaks it down into dumb terms that you and I would understand, then maybe you're willing to like listen to someone talk about, I don't know, 9/11 or this and that. But anyways, I mean,
maybe it's just me feeling like Joe Rogan is...
No, listen, man.
Is actually a pretty good... Like, young Joe Rogan is a pretty good representation of me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't like... Listen, I want that success now.
I'm sure even Joe Rogan would have said, like, just do what you think is best. You know, if you think, like, different format is, like, better, just... good on you, you know, go for it, and you do. That's the beauty of the internet, man. There are so many different ways you can do things, and there's so many different forms of success. So
I know, but also the golden years are over.
Yeah.
Like the times again where a show like The Father and the Kid, for example,
Yeah.
could explode nowadays.
Yeah.
With no-name stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
The chance still exists, but the lottery has become very much in favor now of people who already have connections or have money.
Yeah.
Or both.
But that's also, again, it's sort of like a dim view, because when you look at it, there are new lotteries popping up all the time. Now, back in the day, there was no TikTok, let's say. Back in the day, there was like no the sort of platforms.
There's always new platforms.
Yeah. So
but they're all controlled by multi-billion companies. While back in the day, like Google was nothing.
Yeah.
YouTube was its own company before Google bought it.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. That one was like just like a rickety thing at the beginning. Nowadays, like TikTok, from basically the get-go, the moment like they got bought out, and that was really quick.
Yeah.
Like the time where something can be independent has also shortened.
Yes, I
like the moment I moment I get like 5,000 subscribers, subscribe by the way, I won't take them, but I will get offers from networks.
Yeah.
And they want my content, and they will keep it forever.
Okay. I mean, listen, I don't know what the path is, but I'm sure there's all these new things for us to learn. The world is changing, you know.
What are you? A movie trailer from 2018? The world is changing.
I am a father, sir. I am a father and a husband and a good Muslim. Not really.
You're the best Muslim.
Yeah. Tell me, when do you think this whole Corona thing is going to be over? Do you think there's going to be a third wave, or do you think we get
Depends when we get our vaccine. Because there's now 2 last trial runs with 2 different vaccines in Europe, and both of them have very promising clinical studies, and they're both double-blind studies, which makes my confidence in those go up way much, as opposed to, for example, the Russian vaccine, where they just did a study that straight up came from the 1930s, basically. Like, a guy wrote it, basically. Like, I hate that shit, you know, where it's not double-blind. Especially in medicine, double-blind studies are so fucking important to, like, verify the results.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm confident we will get a vaccine. The problem will be resource management.
Yeah.
Like, who gets it?
Right.
Because
the sick people.
See, in a lot of countries, I see rich and famous getting it even before
they get sick.
The hospital people, like doctors, nurses, all of those people should get it first. Like real risk like that have a high risk of exposure, those get it first. Then risk patients next. Like your grandma, somebody with asthma, like my wife, you know, those people get it next, and then the general populace, and then you offer it for free. Most
that all sounds good, but if I was rich, I would have want to get it first.
I know, because selfishness takes over in that moment.
Welcome to humanity.
Welcome
to humanity.
Yeah, I know, and I bet you that, for example, in Austria. What's his name? The Glock guy. What's his name? Franz Glock? I don't know anymore. Herbert Glock.
You're the Austrian, so
I should know. It's a really shitty first name. Like, it's really bad.
Paul.
Sia, Sia Glock.
Sia Glock.
See you later, Glock.
Yeah.
Glock Kopfschuss. He's basically a pro-fascist.
Okay.
He pays the FPÖ every year a chunk of money, and the ÖVP as well.
Okay.
And is just like a horrible human being.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see him like paying himself into, because he's like worth 250, 300 million euros at least, and his company is worth a few billion. So I can see guys like that who have no moral quandaries and are so private that there wouldn't ever be news coming out. Like with like actors, I can see that like TMZ or something like that, it gets exposes them for their wrongdoing. But somebody who already does wrong in the first place, there won't be there won't be any news coming out about those guys. Like, it's just hush hush.
So as much of
Also, don't fuck with the Glock guys, because that's not a good. They literally have guns.
as much of a terrible person
Yeah.
as this makes me, I don't really care about that as much as I care about being able to perform again. So
I totally get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I mean, we would be also like, in my logic, we would be the third part of people, performers, people who would be a high vector of disease.
yeah,
Like, who interact with a bunch of people, like supermarket personnel, us. Those are the next ones, I feel like.
Do you think that soon enough? Because the restrictions with the second lockdown weren't as bad as the first one.
Yeah,
So do
they're
you
terrible.
think? Oh, they're terrible. You think?
Yeah, because it's that weird mishmash between. It's a very Austrian solution of trying to do the right thing but not having the guts to do it.
But I mean,
Because
sometimes
they should have done it 2 weeks earlier than the actual lockdown now happened. Like 2 weeks earlier.
That was interesting because I saw the lockdowns happening again everywhere else.
Yeah, and like Austria again was like, oh, we're dragging our feet and we are like hoping that it's not getting that, like, it's that praying thing without like having anything to back up your claims. Because we saw the numbers rising during summer and we knew that in the winter and in the autumn when everybody's inside it will get worse. Like, it was just such a like easy logic to follow. The virus can survive longer, there's more wet and cold places, people are more inside, people get more sick, there's less vitamin D, so people also get more sick in general. What is gonna happen? Like, it's so obvious, it hurts. And they did nothing. Well, they didn't do nothing, but they did the bare minimum to prepare.
Right.
Again, they fucked with us by like dragging us along and being like, maybe it's gonna be open still. Maybe restaurants are gonna be open. We don't know. We don't know. Even though they fucking knew, you know?
Right.
And then they're like, oh, they can recuperate 80% of the cost. And then I'm like, but we're performers. We don't count to those 80%. We're not part of that system. You're again excluding artists.
Let us tell our necessary dick jokes.
Yes.
You fascists.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not fashion. It's proto-fascism.
Everything is fascist these days, you know.
Everything is fascist. Every day. Everything is fascist. Anyway. Anyway, Sia, thank you so much for being here for the first time.
Thank you for having me.
We will have
man.
many more talks on Pauls Palaver Paradise. Because we just work so well together.
I love it, man. Thank you. Thanks. So I didn't even realize.
We're like peanut butter and jizz.
It's my favorite. I love that breakfast.
That's a savory sandwich right there. All right, this has been Pauls Palaver Paradise. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, Sia, now is your hot second to pitch all your stuff.
Yeah, follow my page, which is called Jokes on You Comedy. It's a comedy group that performs all over Europe. We have shows mainly in Bratislava and Vienna, but we do perform in Czech Republic and Hungary as well. Even Germany, Spain, we've had shows. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Jokes on You Comedy, and we do post events from other comedians as well. We have
it's like a meta thing as well, where
we're
cross promotion,
platform for,
and it's all good stuff. Very important.
All kinds of comedy. We help headliners from other countries organize shows. We have open mic shows. We have regular showcases. So if you're ever bored, just follow Jokes on You.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. So thank you, Sia, for being here.
Thank you.
Obviously, you can follow me on Facebook, Paul Jacobs Comedy.
Yeah.
Then Instagram, Paul Jacobs Comedy. And on YouTube, you're already here. You're already watching my stuff. Push the red button that says subscribe, please, if you haven't yet. And ring the bell. I really want to kill myself every time I'm doing that.
Well, just
and
call
the
me
worst thing is,
every time you
it's
want to kill
working.
yourself. Wait, dude, just do it. Hey, stop slacking.
That's the Iranian pragmatism.
Yeah.
If it works.
It works, it
Do
works.
it. Yeah. No,
I'm like, I know what works.
Even if it's implemented by evil corporation, use it.
You're like, I know what works. I hate it, and I don't know why I'm not successful.
Fair enough. Thank you so much, and see you the next time. Bye,
See you
guys.
Bye.
Buys. Yeah, my favorite buys.
Guy buys.
Guy buys. Goodbyes.
Goodbye.